ready. This is going to be exciting.
And we got career starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Welcome back, Goat Locker Racing fans. It's time for race number 9 of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series, and it's all coming at you live on V-Speed from the virtual Milwaukee Mile. I'm your host, Logan Threlkeld, of course. Alongside me is Jake Reeves and Michael McCarthy running the production truck with cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Jake, how's it been, man? We are here in Milwaukee today.
Yeah, absolutely, Logan. Good to be back here. Obviously, we're in the Cheesehead State, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's been pretty good, kind of a little bit under the weather. Little man's been sick over the past couple of days. He might have actually give his daddy a little bit of the sickness. So a little bit under the weather, but I'm here and I'm ready to see some very fast open wheel racing at the Milwaukee Mile. This is going to be a good one.
That it is, and we'll bring up our track graphic here and show you exactly what this Milwaukee Mile looks like. It sounds exactly how it is. A perfect 1 mile oval right here in the heart of it all. 9 degrees of banking in the corners. It is not very steep at all. These cars are lucky that they have so much downforce to hold it down to the bottom line. It will still be a very fast race here in the IndyCar Series, so watch out for some blazing lap times in the sub-22 second range at points. And speaking of points, we have points now. Jake, you want to talk about who our current points leader is?
Well, I mean, everybody knows. Everybody that's been watching over the past 8 weeks knows exactly who has been lighting it up so far. I mean, only 2 other drivers have won races. Christopher Gosch won a race, and Nathan Graham's won a race, but Rick Ravon has been the man of the series. It is literally the Rick Ravon IndyCar Series here with Goat Locker. That's just how it's been so far. And I mean, nothing against it. I mean, the man's putting on literally a clinic each and every week when he comes out here, and the points show it. I mean, he has literally got a 100-point gap, 101 if you want to be precise on the points. But I mean, that is wild. But you look down through there, you see Nathan Graham right there and Christopher Gosch, they got their wins, and then Tyler Justice about 7 points back from him. It starts to kind of close up a little bit as you go on down through there. But the man, the myth, the legend so far with Lincoln Tech, Rick Ravon, he's pretty much walking away with this thing. And we're coming to an oval, and Rick Ravon, he's pretty good last week on an oval as well.
He's really just been solid the entire season, like you said. And we'll bring up the schedule here and talk about what's left and see if Rick Ray Vaughn can knock off a couple more wins before that season finale at Michigan. But here we are, October 28th, Milwaukee, followed up by Road America, then Mid-Ohio. So a couple road courses back to back. We'll take it up to Iowa for another and our final oval of the season. Then we'll apologize, Michigan's still an oval. But Portland and Laguna Seca following up right before that season finale. So it's interesting to have a little bit of a mixture here. You know, just a few ovals to go, and it's it always provides some interesting racing on these Tuesday nights. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, it really does, especially on these ovals, because, you know, a lot of these drivers, mind you, may not be road course experts. They may be, you know, a little bit more privy to the oval side of things. So when you go to these ovals, it's more like when you come to these ovals, it's kind of like a, honestly, like I say all the time, kind of like a roulette wheel. You know, pick your number, spin the wheel, you know, put your money on it and, you know, see which one it lands on. Especially like when we went to the Indy Oval, that was about the same thing there. So these ovals really kind of open it up to other drivers, because when we go to those road courses, Logan, it's always about survival when we go to those road courses. Here, Milwaukee, short track, we talked about it. Well, it could be a survival. It just depends on how crazy they get and where everybody puts their stuff at. But it certainly is going to be a good one here tonight.
With an 18-car field, we've got a lot to get through. The grid is ready to go. And taking home the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award, we talked about him already. He's got quite a few wins on the season. Rick Ray Vaughn getting that Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award since forming in 2013. Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They've been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, local and veteran certified. When they do well, they do good in the community. And starting to the outside of Rick Ray Vaughn with that Jam Pole Award, it's the 33 of Tyler Justice in P2. The 42 of Jeremy Gardner will take up the third spot tonight with the 91 of Christopher Gosch to his right side. Jake Ham in the 85 takes up fifth on the grid next to the 16 of Jamie Libke. In seventh, it's the 36 of Samuel Yosef, starting next to the 78 of Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini. Last but not least, in the top 10, it's the 17 of Lucas Lyons making an appearance here tonight next to the 19 of Andrew Carnes.
Yeah, good to see old Lucas Lyons starting up here in the field. We'll see what he can do in these Indy cars. Warden Clayton, 117, be rolling off P11 to his outside. Devin Smith, one of those guys up in the running as far as for the championship standings goes. So Devin Smith got a long way to go starting in P12. Back there in row number 7, P13, to be Corinne Smith starting in P13. And to their outside, it's going to be Mike Browned in the 4 starting in P14. Starting in P15 here this evening is going to be one of those drivers that we're going to have to watch out for possibly tonight. Kyle Deering rolling off from P15, and Jason Kristen rolling off from P16 here tonight. And the final row here for Milwaukee, DJ Patterson and Jonathan Lawless. Remember Lawless from last week at Gateway. Will he be able to bounce back here at Milwaukee? Only time will tell with Jonathan Lawless.
And of course, a shout out to our race controller of the night, Noah Hoagie Hogard, taking up that role. Not in the track or on the track is the 158, but number 1 in our hearts in the race control booth. On our first and only pace lap here at Milwaukee, got a nice camera shot down the backstretch here. Those tires warmed up as much as they can before we take this green flag drop. And it's all out down into turn 1. Rick Ray Vaughn on the inside line. Tyler Justice on the outside. Gardner and Gosch. It could be anybody down into turn 1 after this green flag. coming through turns 3 and 4. Pace car dips off the track. Green flag in the air, and away we go for the Milwaukee Mile. 70 laps on the board.
Here we go. Rick Ravon down to the inside. Tyler Justice up top. Justice getting a little run off of 2. Dives down to the inside. Will take a shot at Ravon. Ravon up top. Justice might have had to get out of the gas. Afraid he might have slid right up into him. They do-si-do going down to hit the stripe. Ravon leads that one. Justice trying to go after him. And Gardner now sitting in the 3rd spot trying to give chase as well.
This track almost drives similar to Indianapolis, with the draft down the front and the backstretch being as exciting as it can be. A lot of speed can be picked up, and then you really have to woe it up down into the corner. Side-by-side battle between Gardner and Ham. Ham gets through on the inside line. Gardner tucks in behind. Doesn't quite get the run to challenge back for it, but he gets a better entry down into 3. Let's see about the exit out of 4. Just up ahead, Tyler Justice catching up. Or, apologize, Christopher Goss catching up with Tyler Justice.
Yeah, and I think I might have got Gardner and Gosh kind of mixed up as fast as they're going right here around the Milwaukee Mile. I mean, it's like we just got started a second ago. And now we're already on lap 5. So, I mean, that's how fast they're rolling here at the Milwaukee Mile. And there you see Christopher Gosh right there in the 3rd spot, taking a kind of a higher entry into 1 and then dipping it down, maybe trying to get whatever. I mean, you can run a different line when you come here to Milwaukee. You see him kind of run a little bit higher, not down on the bottom of the racetrack to try to make it stick. Oh boy, here we go. Jake Ham and Gardner, they're going at it. Big Daddy G down to the inside. Ham up top trying to see if he can make it stick one way or another. Ham will slide to the outside. Gardner trying to find a way around him, but not able to do it.
Not just yet. That inside line is going to be tough to stick to. This battle here for P4. Get that ticker up on the left-hand side of your screen and find out where your favorite driver is here. As we said, 18 cars starting this race. DJ Patterson unfortunately finds his way down 4 laps. Newcomer to the IndyCar Series as well, the 45 of Patterson.
Yeah, I mean, literally starting it off right there with Patterson, newcomer, not able to really showcase his talents right off the bat and already down 4 laps. You flip-flop back, see some of the other racing going on back here in the back. I mean, literally looking like a damn hornet's nest back here with some of these drivers just sliding around. And, I mean, try to use the draft any way you can. You see Corinne Smith right there in the green 10, trying to work their way up through here, right in behind Devin Smith. We talked about Devin, and as far as the points goes, in the 24 slides up. There's Kristen behind them with Andy Carnes back there. He's got a little battle of his own with Kyle Deering, but three driver race right here is Kristen trying to get something going up on Corinne Smith, and right behind him you got Carnes and Deering trying to latch on and maybe get up here and make it a 5-horse race for that spot.
And then you flip it to the other side of the field. Now this one's single filed out. The 33 of Tyler Justice, the 91 of Christopher Gosh have been battling it out side by side for at least a lap here. Just now settles out. Tyler Justice gets the better run off of turn 4, leaving the 91 of Gosh in the wake. But he's so close, he could challenge right back down into turn 3 here. He's going to tuck in behind. Stays with Tyler Justice for now, as both drivers really need to try to focus on catching up with the one of Rick Ray Vaughn, running away with it out over a 1.5 seconds over Tyler Justice.
Yeah, I mean, Logan, you mentioned that right there just a second ago. I mean, I was watching the interval between Justice Gosh and Rayvon. And while they were sitting there racing out for that second spot, Rayvon was just clicking off laps and he was able to drive away. Justice and Gosh, they were more worried about racing one another and having to get out of the gas when they didn't want to, get in a certain situation or however you want to do it. I mean, they were putting themselves in bad spots. And that just let Rayvon just straight up check out because he's got nothing in front of him, nothing around him. So it worked out fantastic for him. So that's what you got. But hey, hell, actually, screw that. They said, nah, screw this. We're going to try to figure out a way to try to go with it. And Justice might have just said, gosh, go ahead, let him have it. It's still early on here in this race. Maybe not. I think they just said, you know what? We're not even going to race for the win tonight. Let's just go for second right here and put on a show for the fans here on V-Speed with Goat Locker. Gosh took a top. Justice was low. Now Gosh goes down low. They make contact. Would be door banging if they had doors on these bad boys. Gosh, though, might have used up Justice just a little bit just to try to get around him, but Gosh gets the spot.
A great battle here as Tyler Justice tries to make way back to the inside, has to let up just a little bit. Then even on exit, a touch off the throttle once more. As you saw, he started to push up the track in that dirty air behind Christopher Gosh. Gets way down onto the apron there in turns 1 and 2. Doesn't find the speed that he needs to really challenge on that corner exit. Gosh doing a great job of utilizing that top line speed that you see at all of these racetracks. It's very early in the run to say that. However, 17 laps already off the board here. Oh my goodness, Gosh gets loose out of turn 2.
Wow, caution is out. Gosh, it was up there trying to go for second. It's going to have to burn a fast repair, and he is on pit road, had to tow it. First caution of the night here at Milwaukee. Wow, that car looks like a tore up beer can right there. That car is toast.
That was just incredible timing to see as he just started to work his way up the track, and there was no contact made. I'm not sure if getting out of that bottom line groove had something to do with it. Maybe just a touch too early on the corner exit. Not too sure, but the back end started to step out, and now we've got one torn up race car, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, he is straight up tore up all get out. No front wing, no rear wing, nothing. And obviously had to tow, and there's a time limit on that for the towing ability for that. And Justice got lucky right there. I mean, we saw it. Justice, I mean, if he was just an inch more to the right, he would have got caught up in that. And that 33 would have been tore up as well. But you see everybody jumping down, obviously, unlimited sets of tires. They're going to go down, get 4 freshies, and send it back out there. One thing I want to make, or I want to note on this, Logan, you saw how very tricky this pit road is. These guys are going to have to be very, very careful going down this pit road, especially if we get it under green flag laps, because how narrow that entrance is and just how it just jumps up out of nowhere. Very, very difficult pit road. Very similar, I guess you could say, to like Dover and Darlington. For the aspect of how difficult it is to get on there, it's similar in that aspect. But other than that, there ain't nothing like getting on this pit road. This place right here is crazy.
Yeah, and we are getting very close to that pit window. We're told it's about 34, somewhere in the range of 33 to 36 laps on a fuel window. It doesn't really break down the tires for us too much. I wish we could have gotten a chance to chat about some tires with some of the drivers before, see how that was managing. But looking at the times that we're seeing, there's not a whole lot of fall off considering how not banked this track is. Only that 9 degrees of banking. This place could essentially be a cheese grater to these tires. One thing that's really not going to help out is the weather. Let's see what it's looking like down there on the track surface. Only 100 degrees on the track surface, so it's not terrible. Triple digits, though, so it is quite warm. Jake, what do you think about the tire run on these cars? How's it looking so far to you?
Well, I mean, it's like you said. I mean, they're really moving around here. I mean, if they was in a stock car or anything like that, yeah, I'd be worried. I mean, late models have run here before, even SK modifieds and Whelen Tour modifieds that that run here. You might worry a little bit about the tire wear, but not for this right here, not for these Indy cars. Boy, we got people smoking back there in the back trying to get caught up as we go back green, but certainly tire wear I wouldn't think would be that big of an issue, even though this track is a little bit worn out and give out a little bit.
Rick Rayvon leads the single file restart down through turn 1. Still pretty well single file. A little bit of a challenge there midway through the field. Had a look at side by side. It sorts itself out once more, but here goes Jeremy Gardner trying to attack on Jake Ham once again. To the inside goes Gardner. Ham holds the outside. Gets the run off of turn number 2. Way back ahead now. But this is the battle to keep your eye on pretty well all night long. As we find them battling each other in just about any series that they can get into a car. Jamie Lipke gets a great run up behind Gardner. Gardner closes the door up to Ham down into turn 1, but it opens right back up. And now Lipke looking to the outside of Gardner from behind. And can't quite generate the speed needed to make the pass, but showing right there in the rear view. You have to keep your eye on the 16. Don't lose focus now.
Can't lose focus. I mean, you don't want to mess up one way or another. You want to make sure that you keep it as clean as you can. I mean, you could easily slip a while. I mean, honestly, just ask Christopher Gosh about that. I mean, you could slip very slightly and completely derail your race out of absolutely nowhere just for one little slip. We talked about it with these Indy cars, Logan, how the steering is in these Indy cars. It's not like a steering ratio that you would see in a stock car. These right here, very, very similar to the next-gen cars that you would see for the NASCAR Cup Series, much like a steering pinion, very, very tight on that steering box. You get sideways just a little bit, you only got just so much room. Wow, hard impact set up into the outside rotated wall. Looks like that is Samuel Joseph. And 2 weeks in a row, Samuel Joseph having issues. Oh, boy. Wow. It didn't matter about that steering box on that one. He was going around. There was contact. He was sent up the hill.
It's the slightest bit of contact, but man, it completely unsettles that race car and up into the wall. Hard goes Joseph. Unfortunate to see the Buc-ee's car. As many of you might know, very, very big fan of Buc-ee's. Actually, was there contact there? Can't quite tell from that camera angle. It might have just been a more of an arrow push. These cars are just as susceptible to that as even the slightest touch of the wheel.
Could have been arrow push, could have been net code, could have been one of those instances that they end up running in. I mean, it could have been a whole lot of other things. We'll see right here, right on board with Joseph. Obviously, Buc-ee's. I'm not a real big fan of their biscuits. Every time I eat a Buc-ee's biscuit, I always end up getting sick, but that's beside the point. Check it out right here. Was there contact on the inside? It was close. I mean, it was very, very close. If there was contact, it was net code. Might have got into him a little bit, but I mean, both of them got in there very, very tight. Joseph is the one that's going to end up getting the short end of the stick on it.
Well, we're watching the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series. We might as well talk about Lincoln Tech and their mission to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They're one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses. They are the title sponsor of the IndyCar Fall Series and a very large partner here of Goat Locker Racing. We thank Lincoln Tech for everything that they do, and you can put your potential to work with them. Here we are. The pace car lights are now off, Jake, and we're going to get single file here, close up the gap a little bit coming down the backstretch, and take this back green here to start lap number 30.
Yeah, I mean, can't wait to kind of see how this works out. Hopefully, everybody will be able to kind of straighten it out. I mean, this is a short track, obviously, like we were talking about. It is a short track. There is contact that's going to that guys are going to make one way or another. It's just bound to happen. I mean, it's short tracks. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna get into somebody sooner or later, but hopefully they'll be able to kind of straighten it out a little bit because you got to think about this, Logan. It's a short track. But at the same time, they're hauling ass around this 1 mile Milwaukee mile. So, I mean, tight as it is, I mean, it's just a whole lot of factors. They got to be careful in these things because you wreck these things, you get just one little ding on these Indy cars right here, you're in some deep, deep doo-doo.
And the slightest bit of damage to that front wing can end your corner quickly. But back under green here, Rick Ray Vaughn racing down into turn 1. Tyler Justice got himself a great restart, staying very close to that number 1 machine right within that draft bubble. Let's see if he can put it to work here. Matthias Marcamini up into the top 3, 5 positions gained for him, starting back in P8. Jake Ham, Jeremy Gardner can't get separated back there for that 4th position. Looks like Jonathan Wallace having issues bringing it down pit road now. Looking through here, Jake Ham trying to catch up to Marcamini here. Jeremy Gardner staying right in his wake. See which one of these drivers can take advantage of it. Maybe a 2-for-1 for Gardner. Maybe Ham gets up into the top 3.
Very good possibility. I mean, Ham right there, right on the back door of Marcamini. And then you got Gardner right there in that mix as well. And Jamie Libke not too far back from that as well. Tyler Justice got it down to about a second right now since the restart, right behind Rick Ray Vaughn. So both of those drivers trying to check out and get gone. But Ray Vaughn just absolutely strong off of turn 2. I mean, literally got about 3/10 off that corner. Here comes Ham down to the inside trying to get around Marcamini. And we got a caution on the speedway.
It looks like it's the 17 of Lucas Lyons on the backstretch having issues, and Andrew Carnes in the 19 the lap before also spun out on the backstretch into the inside wall, but off of the track surface, so it did not trigger that iRacing yellow. This incident with Lyons, however, will get it here on the V-Speed instant replay for you to find out what happened to the 17. Looks like another situation like what we saw with Christopher Gosh, just loose on the bottom of turn 2. Slides it up the racetrack back down to the bottom, but just that split second of sliding back up the track is enough to trigger that caution. Got a couple race cars coming around at top speed out of turn 2. I don't know what's happening down there on the bottom of turn 2, but it's claiming a lot of cars the last couple of laps. Andrew Carnes had issues with it. I believe I saw another driver too that had issues on the backstretch just before Lyons here. Luckily, he kept it off the wall, Jake, so he'll have a race car to continue with. He's going to replace those tires as he makes his way down into pit lane. Rick Ray Vaughn stays out up on the track. 35 laps here completed this time by. Right at the halfway point. We've had just a couple cautions here. 0 lead changes, however. Rick Ray Vaughn setting the pole, taking the first lap, and has not looked back since. Tyler Justice had a great opportunity on that last restart, but I just think ended a little early there for Justice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, these cautions right here, in my opinion, is really helping out Rick Ray Vaughn right here. I mean, from what we're seeing here tonight, I don't think Rick Ray Vaughn needs much more help than what he already has, because he is. I mean, he's putting a whooping on him right now. I mean, nobody's got around him. He's led every single lap all the way right here at the halfway point. He has led every single lap. So you got to give credit where credit's due to Rick Ray Vaughn. But what is hurting is Justice and Marcamini, and also Jake Ham, who was trying to get around Marcamini for that 3rd spot. So these cautions is hurting them. because the laps are winding down and they're not able to advance positions to try to make something happen. So they want to try to get some green flag racing in and maybe get Rick Ray Vaughn on kind of to burn his tires up a little bit, kind of see what he has on the long run. That way they got something for him to try to figure something out.
Well, interestingly enough, by the data that we got pre-race, some of these drivers might be able to stretch it out to the end that brought it down. Oh my goodness, what's going on in the background there? Green flag still drops. I would say the yellow will come out. Appears we're gonna stay green here. Oh,
maybe not. We're gonna
the
spinner.
yellow is. And a lot of drivers getting a black flag from that incident. It's just the issue here with something like that dropping or happening before the drop of the green flag. It's this one's going to be a little bit of a cleanup here.
Yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate to see just kind of the cautions just keep coming. They just keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And like I said, Rayvon's loving it. And the other drivers is not really loving it too much. But I mean, they had to stack up way before we even got to the line. Something happened. And then you end up getting somebody spun out going into turn one as well. So, I mean, everything really started off literally right even before the damn pace car even went down pit road.
I think it was around that 50 of Kyle Deering. He's missing his front left section of his front wing. Let's see. Deering coming up to everything. No, this Deering is separate from this, evidently. Sure who was at the back of that line.
Yeah, there's the spin right there that brought the caution out right there. I mean, but I mean, they were stacked up behind them. I'm still kind of trying to figure that one out myself right there. But I mean, I don't know, but somebody, I mean, whoever's got spun around, I mean, they got a hard impact on the outside rotative wall. We'll see right here. See if maybe it was right here in this area. See if, oh yeah, oh my Lord. Wow. Christopher Gosh, is that the 91 that got flipped upside down? Is that who that was? I mean, he looked like a skateboard at the X Games, flipped up and stacked everybody else up behind him. And then after that, somebody ended up getting a hard impact to the outside rotative wall. So that whole restart was pretty much turned over on its lid, if you will. No, that was Kyle Deering, the one that went up in there.
Cynthia Deering, man, went for a ride. There's the slide up into the wall. His point of view. Man, what a conundrum there.
I mean,
But
you
back
called
up
it.
the front, Jake. I think we're about to go green here. Pace car lights are off coming out of turn number 4. Jake Ham now in the lead. Green flag drops and away goes the 85. But he's really risking it here. The only driver in the field to not pit since lap 35. We'll see if he can make this pay off. Or just looking to gather up a bonus point or two for a lap lead. Lucas Lyons in the 17, hot on his trail. Warren Clayton in the 117 takes up the 3rd position right now. Followed by Jamie Libke in the 16. Rick Ray Vaughn, our previous leader, is in 5th.
Yeah, I mean, and Ham able to slide by. Jake Ham now, he's got the lead. What will happen with Rick Rayvon back here in this dirty air? See what happens with Rayvon as he goes door to door with Jamie Lipke. Lipke down the inside, Rayvon up top trying to use the draft. One driver pulls way out of line trying to mess him. And there you see the 85 of Ham. He's leading it. Lyons is second. Clayton third. Rayvon fourth. Lipke fifth. And now Lyons spins it again. Second time here tonight. Off a turn two, the same spot.
A much harder impact that time, considering he actually got to the wall. The 17 of Lucas Lyons does get it moving again. We'll try to bring it down pit lane, get that fast repair underway. Man, the bottom of this track just getting so loose. You can see he caught it twice. That third time just wasn't the charm for Lucas Lyons.
Man, I'm telling you, Lucas Lyons, I mean, he has just had a night to forget. I mean, just get a little squirrely sideways, bam, hard in the inside potato wall. Almost came right up in the middle of traffic. Whew, boy, that could have got worse. I mean, if there was other drivers that would have been right on his back door, that would have been, city, literally, city. Damn, he just hit them tires right there that stick out right there. Just hit it so hard. And there you see it right there, Metallica on the side of it, Unforgiven. I got a feeling Milwaukee Mile is going to be one of those unforgiven moments for Lucas Lyons. He's going to be pretty much pulling it down pit road. And I believe he's already burned a fast repair, so odds are he's pretty much going to be done for the evening.
I believe he still has it, at least by my data here on the screen. The 17 has not used the fast repair yet.
Okay.
Take a look, but he has a very unconventional way of getting into the pit box here, almost at a perpendicular 90-degree angle with the pit wall. So I think that actually will be the end of his race. I've had that happen to myself where you're in the pit box and you can't move the car anymore. It says that you're there, but yeah, the 17 now not moving at all. I'd say that's race over for Lucas Lyons. Jake Ham, Warren Clayton, Rick Rayvon make up your top three. This time by should turn off those pace car lights. Take it back under green flag conditions on lap 47. What do you say we give another shout out to one of our fantastic sponsors here at Goat Locker Racing? That's going to be Save 22. Save 22 is a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. Our unwavering mission extends to four critical pillars: shield, assist, volunteer, and educate. Save22.vet. You can visit them online. We thank them for everything that they do within Goat Locker and out in the real world. But here we are still at the virtual Milwaukee Mile, coming down through turns 3 and 4. Jake Ham looking for that green flag as the pace car will come off just out of the corner here right about now. Green flag in the air as it drops for Jake Ham to race down into turn 1. Rick Rayvon steps out of line early. That might be an issue there for the one. Gets around with ease. That Bucky's machine of Samuel Yosef stuck up on the outside here in the mix. 2 laps down, right in the battle for the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we'll see how that ends up working out for Yosef. Remember, with Yosef, he had that issue. I mean, granted, he's still 2 laps down, but I mean, certainly, I mean, you know, if something happens there, but still, I mean, believe it or not, we still got a long way to go right here. I mean, stuff could happen. We've already seen a lot of stuff happen here tonight, Logan. So Yosef may end up getting a couple of extra spots, you know, talking about this points deal and everything. So if stuff gets interested right here, Yosef may have a shot to try to get him a couple of more spots. But check out this battle for second. Jake Ham trying to get away. Clayton on the bottom. Rayvon up top. Lipke back there in 4th. And Tyler Justice in 5th. Boy, I'm telling you, Rayvon got around him, but Clayton is just trying to wear him out. But problem is, if you're there, you got to get him when he is there and have a shot with it. Other than that, Rayvon, if he gets away, it's pretty much game over.
That's what it's looking like right now. Rick Rayvon got the separation from Warren Clayton. Now trying to chase down our current leader, Jake Ham. Oh, as Rick Rayvon does end up getting a black flag for stepping out of line too early on the last restart. He will be taken out of this battle. Has to bring it down pit lane. I think that'll be a pass-through penalty. So I'll give that number 2 position back to Warren Clayton. Jamie Libke will take up that 3rd spot. Tyler Justice, Matthias Barcamini rounding out the top 5 after the 1 serves the penalty. What a game changer for Rick Rayvon. He holds it down to the apron, makes the entry into pit road now. Oh, man, oh, man.
That is unfortunate right there for Rick Rayvon. I mean, you know, you look at it, even though, I mean, he's still got a 100-point gap over the 2nd place in the points. You come into this right here, want to have a good night. Still, I mean, you know, you still got a pretty good points cushion. You still should be in good shape. But at the same time, you still want to come out here and show that you are the top dog. You are the dominant driver here with the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series. And one little slip like that right there, and unfortunately will cost Rick Rayvon. Still on the lead lap, though, mind you. And these old boys, they get up here and they race them. We've already seen guys just snap loose and, you know, wreck and all kinds of stuff's happen. So Rayvon may be back into this thing. Don't count him out, but if there ain't a caution that comes out, Rayvon's in trouble. We get a caution, he might be okay.
That is what that number 1 will be looking for here. Jake Ham, he is at the 37 lap mark on the current stint, so it could be any moment where the 85 is struggling on fuel. We'll have to keep an eye on him. But the battle heating up now in the mid-pack. Jeremy Gardner right in the middle of it. Mike Browning hot on his trail. That's a battle for P7. Jason Kristen just up ahead. It's all over the place here. It's Kristen around the outside of Jeremy Gardner. Gardner trying to attack on the inside. High up into turn 3 and 4. It's a good exit out of turn 4, though. And looking to the inside, down into turn 1, goes that 42 of Gardner. Let's see if it'll stick this time. Gets just clear of Kristen, and that's the pass for P6 here on lap 58.
Yeah, I mean, good drive right there by Gardner to slide down to the inside and check it out. Mike Browning right there behind him trying to mix it up, maybe get him a spot as well. He'll slide by Jason Kristen as well. So Gardner go to 6th. Mike Browning to go to 7th. Not today, though. Kristen gets a run. We got one up at the top. That is Joseph. Samuel Joseph. Oh, man, knocking the whole right foot off of it. Wiggling and giggling a bobble. Shout out to my good buddy Wesley Allen on that one. But, oh, wow. I mean, just wiggling all over the place on the wheel. He is going to pull it down pit road. No caution. Coming this time around. 11 to go. Coming to the line. Next time be 10 to go.
Looks like it's another netcode situation there for Samuel Joseph, and has already used up that fast repair on the night. The 36 will have to retire here. The battle is on for P2. Jamie Libke has caught up to Warren Clayton in the 117 machine. A little bit of a distance back to Tyler Justice. The 85 of Jake Ham calling out the pit lane is coming down. He will let go of the lead due to that fuel run being a little bit too short. So it's just now between Warren Clayton and Jamie Libke for P1. But don't look now, the 33 of Tyler Justice looks like he's picking up some steam.
Yeah, it looks like he's picking up a little bit of steam, but Justice may, obviously Tyler Justice, one of those drivers that has been up at the front all race long, was trying to run down Rick Rayvon at one point, but now Justice might have got all that he wanted right here to get him his first win of the season. Mind you, Warren Clayton, Jamie Libke, both of these drivers in position for their first win of the season as well. So you got 1, 2, 3 right here. Even Markamimi trying to get his first win of the season. So front 4 drivers have not won a race this season. As soon as I say that, now Gardner trying to mix it up. Gardner's already up here in this mix trying to make it happen. Browning tried to go down the inside of Markamimi, but Markamimi keeping it up top, trying to make it happen. Gardner cuts him off turn 4.
42 up into the top 4 now. I don't know if there'll be enough race left for Gardner to make a difference in the top 3, but he is certainly on the hunt for it. See in the 78 holding down that 5th position after being attacked by both Gardner and Browning. Almost looked like a little bit of contact with the wall back there just behind Gardner. It's getting interesting down to the wire here. 5 to go at Milwaukee. Jamie Lipke looks to the inside, gets ahead of Warren Clayton down into turn 3. The 16 takes the lead late in the race.
Oh boy, and Clayton now, he's going to take a shot, jump down to the inside, maybe try to make something happen one way or another. Clayton, Lemke, Justice right behind him trying to latch on. Gardner trying to give chase as well. This may be a race for the ages here with Goat Locker Racing. Coming this time, 3 laps to go. J.B. Lemke leading them off of turn 4.
Victory in the eyes of the 16. The 117, the 33, the 42, the 4, the 78, all of them are so close to their first victory of the season. We will crown a new race winner tonight, but who will it be? Out of turn 4 with 2 to go. Lipke still in the lead. Warren Clayton has fallen off now 0.3 of a second, but close enough to make a charge back up. 2 to go here at Milwaukee. Who is it gonna be? 3 and 4. One more time around. Clayton closes the gap up, shoots the inside, side by side down into turn 1. Clear of the 16. Contact made. Side by side down the backstretch for the final time tonight. It's the 117 of Warren Clayton on the inside, has to let it up. The 16 holds on to it. Lipke battles around the outside, and Tyler Justice takes away P2.
Wow. What a race. Even our producer, Michael McCarthy's like, damn, what a race right there. Jamie Lipke getting a win at the Milwaukee Mile. Justice able to capitalize on Warren Clayton, but the night belongs to the 16 and Jamie Lipke. What a race in those last 5 laps.
That was incredible by the top 3 finishers there. Jamie Lipke gets it done in Milwaukee. A new race winner and in fashionable style here. Wow. I can't even try to sum that up. That was just an incredible finish.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing for that right there. I could try to sum it up. But I doubt that I'd be able to pull it off because, it was just so much happening at one time. Both of them trying to hold the car straight, hold it right, not get into one another. Warren Clayton looked like he had that bad boy coming off of turn 2. He looked like he had it in the bag, but Lipke got the run on the outside. Lipke shot down through there. They went door to door going into 3. Clayton sent it. If he would have kept it in the gas and went through there normally, he just straight up took them both out, and then Tyler Justice would have won the race. But Warren Clayton give him a break. He tried, wasn't able to succeed, fell back off the gas. Lipke gets the win.
Wow. That's about all that comes to mind whenever I'm going to think of this race in the future. But Jake, what do you say we take a quick break, hear a quick word from our sponsors, get set up for the pre-race show, and talk to those top 3 finishers. We got some new names on the podium to go over tonight. We'll be right back here from Milwaukee.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After an exciting finish, let's go through our race results. We saw it live, but the 16 of Jamie Lipke defends for the first race win of the season. The 16 has got to be happy with that. Tyler Justice able to just barely sneak around the 117 of Warren Clayton. 0.028 seconds separating those two for that second place finish. Jeremy Gardner puts on a great drive to get back up to P4, and then the 4 of Mike Browning makes up our top 5. Matthias Marcamini in the 78 gets P6 on the night with the 82 of Jason Kristen in the 7th spot. Devin Smith in the 24 takes it to P8, up 4 positions from their starting position. Kyle Deering in the 50 makes up P9. Corinne Smith in the 10 will round out your top 10, up 3 positions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you mentioned Kyle Derrett actually might have flipped this way all the way up there to P9 if you want to put it that way. But honestly, the biggest story of the race is the man that finishes 11th here tonight. Rick Ray Vaughn got busted on that penalty on that restart. What could have been his 7th win here tonight. Unfortunately, started first. He's the one car. He's going to finish 11. A whole lot of ones, but it ain't the one that he wanted here tonight. Jonathan Lawless comes home in P12 with Jake Ham, who had to make a pit stop early, or had to make a late pit stop, wasn't able to pull it off. He ends up finishing 13th here tonight with Christopher Gosh finishing at P14. Then you got DJ Patterson back there finishing in P15 with Samuel Joseph in 16th. Lucas Lyons spun it out twice, called it a night. Matches his car number in P17 with Andy Carnes rounding out the 18 drivers here tonight. Noah Hogard was your race director.
As well as Charles Abert, too. I forget he's always back there and just never appears there on that timing and scoring board. But, Jake, we've got some excited drivers up here in the waiting room. What do you say we get to talking to them? Let's pull up our race winner on the night, Jamie Lipke in the 16 machine. First race win of the season led 5 laps, but you got the most important one. First of all, let's just give you a second. What are the emotions like here?
Well, fortunately, I've had a little bit of better practice. So I'm, just now starting to get used to this being up towards the front type of thing. So I'm starting to get comfortable.
Well, that's one of my favorite things to say about racing is if you find yourself comfortably in the battle for the race wins, but you can't come away with it, it will eventually come. So just being consistent like you have been, it's proving to be effective as you pick this one up at the Milwaukee Mile. What were the key focal points on the success here tonight?
So I thought I made a big mistake because I didn't notice we only had 2 sets of tires instead of 3 this time. And I realized I just dug myself a hole. I just made my bed. I got to figure out how to stretch this fuel because I was actually short on fuel. So the first 15 laps of that run, I was fuel saving. The next 15 laps, all right, I'm in the green. And then on that last restart, I didn't. It was one of those, if there's a problem that you have to swerve to avoid a wreck, it sucks for Rick Ravon. I only got to see it from the back end, so I'm not exactly sure what the deal was. But he had a pretty decent shot for the win, and just one of those, the cards just laid down just right, and then Warren started getting a bit tight, and I tried to take advantage and almost bit me, but it worked out.
Jamie, I mean, buddy, you get the win here tonight. Jamie, I remember you had sent me something, and hell, it was a couple of years ago about, sent me something about, this was the first time that you called my name on the broadcast, or so. I can't remember. I think it was at a race at Iowa. I'm not 100%. You might have remembered it.
1 year ago, as of probably yesterday.
You got to be
1 year ago,
serious.
as of Monday, my very first GLR race was ARCA at Texas. You were broadcasting on NASRA 360, and I raced that on an Xbox controller.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, but I mean, you come from that. Okay, so you start out with that. Okay, you was on the Xbox controller for that very first race that you was with Goat Locker all the way to today, and you get the win here tonight. I mean, talk about the grind that it's been here in Goat Locker and the friendships that you've had here with Goat Locker Racing, all the way from that race at Texas all the way up to tonight.
Well, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the great guys at GLR, Patrick, Jamie, the GLR crew setting up Goat Locker Racing in the first place, and providing that home for us to hang out and have fun. And then the people that fill GLR are such great people, and most of them give you the shirt off their back if you asked. Actually, you don't even have to ask. If they find out you're having trouble, it's like, here, I got you. So the guys are so cool. It truly is a family community.
That it is. Jamie Lipke, congratulations here at Milwaukee. Claimed 5 positions to the number 1 spot. Who do you have to say thanks to?
I'll definitely got to thank Lincoln Tech for sponsoring the series, and Save 22, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. I got to thank my awesome teammates with Sim Racing Pride. We're constantly trying to, push each other to do better, trying to help each other out. Try to figure out that next little edge or that something that'll get you going, especially if you're not used to racing. Got to thank my boys with VTF 77, my DCS community. If you're into flight sim, we take everybody from beginner just getting started all the way up to pro level pilots on the flight sim side of things. And I got to thank you guys at V-Speed for broadcasting the series.
Well, thank you for putting on quite the incredible finish. Congratulations once again, Jamie. Get to celebrating.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you.
Well, that'll lead us down to our 2nd place finisher who snuck away with it here. That's going to be the 33 of Tyler Justice. Tyler, you've got Logan and Jake up here in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man.
Well, what a great run there that you had at the end. You found yourself battling up here in the top 5 pretty well the entire race. I don't think the 33 ever left the top 5 in the timing and scoring, but you finally started to really put on a charge here. Whenever Warren Clayton got out ahead, you're chasing down Jamie Libke and able to just barely sneak around that 117 for P2. What were those last 5 laps like in the seat of the 33?
It was pretty tough with the dirty air. I was having to lift pretty heavy and just trying to somehow build a run. Was hoping when they got side by side that it'd really just slow both of them up, and looked like that last corner, Warren just kind of dove it in a little too hard, had to check up pretty heavy, so I was able to sneak around him on the outside. I was really wanting to pit when they pitted on, I think, that lap 34 caution, but I was thinking it was about 2 laps out of the fuel window for me, so I was a little nervous on doing that. I didn't want to have to do what Jake Ham did. I think he had to pit with like 4 or 5 to go. I didn't want to risk having to get a green flag run or ended up having to pit later and then get mired back in traffic. So that was a good call by all of them. It was really tough to get by them once we, I think me, Raven, and a few others pitted a caution right after that. So there wasn't that much of a tire advantage because I think it was only like 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, I was going to ask you about that. As far as the tire advantage goes, I mean, we knew y'all was kind of in that fuel deal and everything else, but I mean, the tire fall off. I mean, Logan talked about it a second ago with the tire fall off. It just didn't seem like it was that bad. I mean, so basically throughout this race, y'all were just more worried about the fuel than you were the tires because it just seemed like y'all was clicking them off, and it was just like y'all were out there running time trial laps every single lap.
Yeah, so for me in practice, my goal was trying to figure out a way to keep the tire wear down and keep the temps down, because I was actually running negative weight jacker through most of the race because I was just being real easy on entry, building the run out. That's why Rick got like a second or few lead every time on the restart, because I was just trying to basically manage temps. So, but then when that last caution hit and we had a pretty decent run in, I never really got any temps on it, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I think the track temp was like 100-ish. I thought it was going to be a lot more than what it was, but I guess that and the lighter fuel load just didn't wear as much as I thought it was going to. So it was fun though. It was real fun. It was having to stay on top of adjustments, because I think Warren said that he was at a +10 weight jacker at the end and I was at +2, so it was all about maintaining your line and keeping momentum.
So consistency being key in the P2 finish here tonight. Tyler Justice, who do you have to say thanks to or give shout outs?
Yeah, just want to shout out first and foremost Go Locker Racing, Pat, Jamie, Jake, Regis, Tim Jones, everybody who puts the league on, and the organization. I mean, where else can you find a organization with a league that runs so many different types of racing? That, you got open wheel, you got sports cars, you got oval. It's just awesome, because I basically only race. I don't do any officials, just race here. So it's been awesome this season with all the variety. Like to shout out Jam Printing and Promotions, Lincoln Tech for being the title sponsor for the IndyCar. Once again, really glad we were able to get an IndyCar full season instead of just summer. V-Speed, you guys do an awesome job. I can't wait to watch it back. Didn't seem like maybe there was as much passing, but it was just a lot of, head games, so I can't wait to watch it back. Alexander PCs and what they do for building the PCs for the SimRig recipients. And also like to shout out Big Fish Barbecue and Logan Sturgeon. If you haven't seen the Goat Talk Live episode with him on it from last week, it's a really good watch. Rogue Energy, use code RER for 10% off your order. Save 22 and the Team Save 22. We actually got a 2-3-4 tonight, and all of us were in the top 10 with Devin Smith as well. So that was really good for us tonight. And then my guys over at Major Garage and Majors Esports, I'm glad to bring home another podium for them.
Well, congratulations once more, Tyler Justice. Thank you for your time, and we will see you next week.
See y'all.
That leaves us with just one more to go, Jake, and it's the man, the myth, the legend, Warren Clayton, joining us up here in the booth. You started out P11, you drove up through the field, 8 positions gained on the way, taking the 117 to your first podium of the season, I believe, Warren.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Played a strategy game, and it ended up working out, especially for fuel saving and tires and everything else here. It's really hard to pass, so just pitted early and fuel saved a little bit, helped with the cautions coming out. It pushed me up to the front of the field, and it was harder for people to pass behind, so I was able to hold up there pretty good.
Playing the strategy game, pitting there at the halfway point, 35 laps to end the race. You claim 5 laps led as well. So a great effort coming from the 117. The difference between yourself and the 33 for that second place spot was only 2/100ths of a second. So very tight battle there. We saw at the very end, it seemed like your car was getting a little loose maybe on corner exit. What was happening that ended up essentially taking you out of the race lead?
Well, since I pitted earlier, I think my tires were a little bit worn, and I was kind of pushing kind of harder on them, so I might have burned them up a little bit. My right rear was really hot, or right front was really hot, so I ended up having to add a lot of weight jacker, and that just loosens the car up. It obviously didn't help going into that last turn. I kind of dove in a little hard and moved Libke up toward the wall, but he had good avoidance and everything, and Tyler got a run on me, so a little bit of a mistake there into the last corner, but lessons learned.
Yeah, I mean, Warren, you mentioned obviously lessons learned. I mean, this track, obviously, this is one of them that I was really circling for these Indy cars, because I mean, you're going so fast. I mean, we saw a bunch of drivers getting loose right there coming off of 2. We already saw, we saw Lucas Lyons end up having issues. Christopher Gosh. I mean, how hard is it to drive these Indy cars, especially when you're coming off a quarter and you just snap a little bit loose? I mean, how hard is it to save these damn things?
It's really hard. Like, it takes a long time to learn these cars, and we always end up getting a lot of new people that come in here and they try these cars out and they give up really quickly. But if you just sit here and focus and you really want to try to like challenge yourself to learning these cars, you can learn it pretty well. But yeah, it's really tricky. You have to be very quick. Knowing coming from an IndyCar team, I already know like what the drivers really do to prepare themselves to drive one of these cars in real life. And they have reaction testing and all sorts of other stuff to help them with catching a car when it snaps loose. And it's it's a super big challenge to drive these cars. So being able to be on a podium tonight was pretty awesome.
Well, you made it look pretty easy out there, Warren. Congratulations on P3. Any shout outs or any thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'd like to thank iRacing and MK Fire Design, Sim Motion, and of course Lincoln Tech. Without Lincoln Tech, we wouldn't even be having this series right now. And obviously, I love IndyCar, so I have to really thank them for even allowing this to be broadcasted and everything. I do want to also thank InVets, because without them, I wouldn't have even gotten the job that I have with Arrow McLaren, and I never would have had a contact with Patrick to become the first Simrad recipient. So huge shout out to them and everything they've done for me. So thank you.
Oh, happy to have you here, Warren. Congratulations on P3. We'll see you next week when we take it back to some right-handers and left-handers.
All right, thanks.
Well, that'll do it for our top 3 interviews. Jake, we had quite the exciting race here tonight. A couple cautions throughout the race, but overall, we can't complain too terribly bad. Only 5 yellow flags on the night with the 3 lead changes. Jamie Libke taking home the race win. What are your thoughts on tonight's race here at Milwaukee?
Well, I mean, it's short track racing. I mean, you're going to see that when you come to Milwaukee. It doesn't matter what car you in. It doesn't matter if you're in a stock car, an Indy car, a late model, or a street stock. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're going to have cautions. You're going to have wheel banging, door banging, however you want to look at it. There's going to be incidents out here, but I mean, very good race, and I mean, it just goes to show you in this race that the best drivers sometimes they screw up. And Rick Ravon did. He messed up on a restart, and it ended up costing him what possibly could have been the 7th win of the season for Rick Ravon. But it's like Jamie Libke said. I mean, if it doesn't matter how you win a race. It doesn't matter if it just falls into your lap. You win a race, you win a race. I mean, it is an accomplishment. So congratulations, Jamie. I know he's been working very hard here in Goat Locker, to get him one. So shout out to Jamie. Congratulations to them. And I mean, it's gonna be good. You ever see what happens throughout this? Because Ravon didn't get the finish that he wanted. So the points gap is going to shrink a little bit. Obviously, Justice and Gardner and all them up there. So we'll see what happens when we go or when we go road course racing next week.
Yeah, next week at Road America, taking the Indy cars to Sheboygan County, Wisconsin. So make sure you tune into that one. Mid-Ohio will follow Iowa. Portland, Laguna Seca round out the regular season with a season finale at Michigan International Speedway. But that's all for tonight here in Milwaukee. For everybody behind the scenes, Patrick Dravick, Jamie Barkas, and all the other volunteers working with Goat Locker. For everybody behind the scenes at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Bradley Cooper, Morgan Cook, and of course, Eddie Smith, the rest of the V-Speed crew. Jake Reeves in the booth with me tonight, and Michael McCarthy running the production truck with cameras provided by Dougie Beard. I'm Logan Threlkeld signing off. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week at Road America.